and Young Adult Podcast.
Oh, welcome to podcast 138, everybody!
Whoa!
And super excited about our guest today. And so I want to start off by saying this. Pastor Aaron is he's just avoiding his responsibilities. He's being lazy.
He's gotten a big responsibility, though. A new big responsibility.
Yes, absolutely. They had a baby girl. So
Yeah.
he's doing whatever a brand new father does.
Well, you're the only one who can attest to what a brand new father does.
And I'm going to be honest with you. You know what a brand new father does?
What?
They get bossed around by the brand new mother, and then they get in trouble for not being able to do things that's impossible for them to do. Like, can you get up in the middle of the night with her? Well, I guess if I could feed her, I would. So I'm getting in trouble for something. It's impossible for me to do. You see what happens. See how hard new fathers have it?
Except for there's so many ways that you could wake up in the middle of the night and feed her.
Explain one.
They can have, this is so weird, they're going to have like breast milk bags in the fridge. You warm it up.
No, they don't have that yet. They don't have that.
I'm pretty positive.
They just don't. It just...
They could have pumped. They could have done formula. There's two different options.
Nope. I say big fat no to that. What do you think, Preston?
I am not a woman nor a father, so my insight, I don't know.
We'll figure it out when it comes.
My insight, I have nothing.
I know. So I would say the best a father can do is just say, I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. I'll do whatever you need me to do. I mean, I'll tell you right now, for me personally, I remember with our first child in particular, this did not happen with our other two that we had. But with the first one we had, for some reason, the way that the labor and delivery went, she delivered through the middle of the night. And so we started off just bad because once the baby was in our arms, we were both extremely exhausted.
Yeah.
And then you have to use you're on your reserve energy, and then you take care of the baby all day, and then night comes, and you're like, okay, I'm so excited to go to sleep, and then you end up staying up most of the night because the baby needs stuff, and the nurses are in and out a lot, and so then you're way behind on sleep, okay?
Yeah.
And have you ever been so behind on your sleep that your body goes to sleep even when you don't want it to? Maybe you sat down, I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes and just you fell asleep for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever been that tired? Okay.
Yeah.
No? Well, I hit that.
That's a blessing.
That is a blessing. I hit that level.
Okay.
And I remember just finally my body said enough, you're going to go to sleep. And I just remember the nighttime came, I think the baby fell asleep, and Jen and I laid down in bed, and boom, lights out. And I think a train probably could have come through our house, and I wouldn't have woken up because in the morning, Jen was very upset with me because apparently
You were just out.
and she thought I was faking it.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, she's like, I was trying to wake you up, and I know you were just ignoring me, and I'm like, God is my witness. I don't remember anything about last night. I'm sorry. My body just went into sleep, survival mode. Because if you don't get enough sleep, your body, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're just finally your body's like, no, you're gonna go to sleep even if you're laying on rocks. You're gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's what I hit. Here's let's get on to let's get into our Lions picks, shall we?
Yep.
Enough of this nonsense.
Yep.
And I just realized something too. You guys don't even know the topic yet today.
No.
We don't.
So I'm going to spring it on you. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
It's okay.
All right. I got some notes on my phone. So sorry, I meant to discuss it with you before we started. and anyway.
It's all good.
All right. Did you guys have in your mind what you thought the Lions game outcome was going to be like versus the Rams last week?
I thought they would win.
Okay.
I thought that Matthew Stafford would come with all the rage to win. and lose.
Yeah,
He did come with all the rage,
it
too.
was
All
his
the
revenge game.
It was.
And he didn't get his revenge.
Oh, poor Maddie.
Like,
He
imagine
got a Super
how
Bowl, it's
mad
okay.
he is right now at home. Like, how mad he is that he lost to the Lions
Again.
the second time.
You know, it's funny. When it comes to Matthew Stafford and the Lions, it's just straight losses. Whether he's playing for us or against us, it's just
true.
loss.
Just loss.
Just
true.
loss. So, did you think the Lions were going to win or lose, Preston?
Yes, I thought they were going to win. My ESPN fantasy games prediction said the Lions were going to win, and so I selected them. In that fourth quarter, though, I didn't think they were going to come back.
We were texting back and forth.
We were.
And I texted this to the group. It was just me, you, Pastor Aaron, Jason,
And Nick.
yeah.
Yep.
And I texted the group. I said, hey, guys,
I was left out of that. Wow.
you want to be in that group?
It's the boys.
I know, but like typically I'm in those.
Do you want to be one of the boys, Kayla?
I'm always one of the boys, and I feel left out.
You know what? We've been leaving you out of stuff. And I don't know
I'm
why.
a sports person.
I know, and I apologize for that. All right, I really do. It's not on purpose at all. It's just it's accident. All right, so we're gonna include you in the text group next Sunday. I texted the group and I was like, hey guys, I think that's it. Game over. We just lost. Something happened. I can't remember what happened.
Yeah.
And then Jason responds back, dude, I think the Lions are gonna win. Why don't you bring all your Lions gear to work tomorrow? Give it to me because you're not a true fan.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow.
Brutal.
That was brutal. But we won. I thought we were going to win. We did win the game. Okay, so I've got this tally on the board. I'm 1-0. Pastor Aaron is 1-0. Fred is 1-0.
Okay.
And
Aaron's
now
dead, probably.
Preston, you're 1-0. And Kayla, you're 1-0. All right. So I texted Pastor Aaron earlier, and I asked him for his pick. Now
Okay.
he has not responded.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay.
I'm going to text Fred. This is what we do. During the podcast live, we text Fred.
Okay.
And then hopefully by the time we're done recording, he's responded and we
Okay.
give his pick. All right, so I'm going to text Fred. I'm going to say, hey, Fred, what's your Lions prediction versus the Bucks? Mm-hmm. All right.
Tampa Bay.
The
Yep.
Buccaneers?
Yep.
Why do you
Yeah.
call them the Bucks?
That's
like
shorter.
Shorter.
Less syllables.
Bucks. All right. So let's go ahead and pick for the Bucks. All right. We'll start with Preston. Win or lose,
man.
buddy.
Tampa's offense was really good on Sunday. Baker Mayfield threw 4 touchdowns.
That's true.
They have a
They're
great defense.
Some of their, I think 3 key guys might be out this week
Yeah.
because of injury.
Lions looked sloppy. They looked rusty. Is it in Tampa?
Nope.
It's in Detroit. 1 p.m.
Lions are favored.
think I'm gonna take the Lions, but it's gonna be very close. It's gonna be 31-27 Detroit football Lions.
I saw the early line. They give the line. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know what the line is? Okay. So you can look at the games on your ESPN app, and they'll give their the line prediction. So the bigger the number, then that towards a team, then the more dominant they think that team will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So versus the Buccaneers, it was like the line was like 3.5 to 4.5. So they thought the Lions would either win by 3.5 points or 4.5 points. So as it kind of got closer to the game, the line got bigger. So that meant they thought the Lions were a much stronger team. Did you see the line versus the Buccaneers?
I did not.
7.
Whoa.
And that's really surprised me.
Really?
Yes.
That's big.
Really surprised me.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a
huge line.
That
Yeah.
tells me the Lions are going to dominate. But I'm like,
I don't think
That's
so.
not gonna happen.
that line felt like it was a Vegas trying to get their money back.
Yeah.
Because -7, that's a big line.
Yeah.
So you think the Lions will win?
Very close. 31-27.
Okay, so that's 4.
Am I supposed to say the score too?
No.
I was like, I'm not very good with that one. I think the Lions will win. That's my prediction.
That's your prediction? All right. Oh, I got a text message here. Who's that from?
Oh boy.
Is it Fred?
No, nothing.
That's a bum.
All right.
Brutal.
I think, my gosh, this is a hard one because the Lions are coming off that emotional game versus Matthew Stafford. That's always an emotional roller coaster ride when Matthew Stafford comes to town. I feel for Jared Goff.
Yeah.
He's got to face Sean McVay, Matt Stafford. It's awkward. That's a big emotional game. I think, my goodness.
But you don't think they're going to be like relieved that they have already dealt with that emotion and they're going to come in even hyper?
I agree with you. I think they're going to be pretty hyped. I think a lot of the monkeys off their back.
Yeah.
I think they're going to play looser, play more free. I think they're going to figure some things out. I think our offense is going to be a lot better. I will say this: the Commanders, who the Buccaneers played last week, they ran the ball all over them and scored some points. So I don't think the defense for the Buccaneers is all that great. And so I'm going to predict a Lions victory.
Yeah.
Okay. Lions victory.
Down the field and gain, a Lions victory. It's the Lions song that they sing after every touchdown.
Forward down the field.
A Lions team that will not yield.
I don't know.
And when the blue and silver wave. Oh, well.
I really don't know. I really
A
don't
lot
know.
of people hate that song.
I don't like it, but it's funny. So
I hate it when they were like 0-16, they'd be down 21-0, and then they finally score a touchdown, and then also the song
guy
would sing.
come out with the
and you're
hard hat.
you're like, stop
I
singing
saw a
this
video
song.
of that.
Do they still sing that song?
Yes.
At the
Yes.
games? Really?
Yeah. If you listen closely at the TV broadcast, you can hear it in the background, and it's the same guy in the hard hat and the black jersey,
The same guy.
singing. Yep.
I saw that video literally
awesome.
yesterday.
It's a good
really
video.
funny.
Okay, so I want to just talk about being used by God. Being used by God. When you think about being used by God, like you are going to be used by God to do something. Like, wrap your brain around this. Do you ever feel like sometimes you're like, God's gonna get it done, or God's gonna do something? Did you ever have that thought, like God's gonna get it done if I simply just pray and have no action? You ever think that?
I don't know. I think action's pretty important.
So like an example would be like, Lord, I pray that teenagers come to our youth group tonight. Do you think the Lord is just going to flood in teenagers to the youth group without you doing anything? Or is that how the Lord's going to answer that prayer? Or is it in your mind, or you're more like, I know I'm praying for this prayer, but also, Lord, I feel like you've asked me to go out into the highways, hedges, the byways, and to implore your people to come in.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've battled with this sometimes. That, Lord, I'm praying for this thing. And then I'll have a mindset of like, Lord's going to do it because I've prayed for it for so long. But then I realize, wait, I don't think I've done my part in this. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God's going to use, like, oh, Lord, bring in the teenagers to Ignited on Wednesday night. Lord, bring in the teenagers to Ignited on Wednesday night. Wait, have I invited any teenagers to Ignited this Wednesday night?
Yeah.
Like, is the Lord going to, like, magically bring teenagers to Ignited tonight? Or do we have a big part to play in this along with prayer? Do you understand?
Yes.
This like, it's like a Christian lifestyle discussion.
Yeah.
Are we simply just prayer warriors, or are we prayer warriors plus something else in the process of getting things done?
Yeah, I think obviously the Lord can move however he wants to and however he's going to, so he could, but I think most of the time there's some steps we have to take too. There's some actions we have to take. Like the example you used, I mean, Lord can bring in a bunch of teenagers, but most of the time, we have to play our part in it too. We actually have to go out and invite those teenagers, spread the word about church.
Okay.
Well, I think there's two sides to it. I feel like the Lord knows if we can have action on it or not. So, like, for instance, like us doing these prayer meetings for like political leaders in the election year.
Yeah, we are as a church. Let's just let everybody know. 11:30 to 12:15 every single Wednesday, all the way through October. We've invited the church out to come and pray for the upcoming election for the church, even a Cornerstone Church.
Yeah.
And we want unity, and we want, men and women of God in office.
Yeah. So, like, for that one, for instance, can we really make actions towards that other than voting?
I agree with you.
So-
Can we? How much can we actually do?
Yeah. How much can we actually do other than pray and vote? Like,
And say something from the pulpit and use our leadership to influence others to vote biblical values.
Yeah.
correct.
Right?
Correct. Or like the Ignited example. I think simply we're in youth group. So it's our job, kind of, but like what we're called to is to go out to the highways, the byways, and invite teens in and press into their lives. And that is by going to football games and letting them know we're here for them, or going bus ministry-wise, knocking on their door.
Yeah, knocking on the door.
Knocking on their door and inviting them in, because teenagers nowadays are not coming anywhere unless they're invited.
Yeah.
And it's just like a rejection thing that they deal with.
No, yeah.
So we can't just simply pray about it. We have to have the action behind it.
And the Bible says in, I think it's Galatians chapter 5, that Paul says that the spirit and the flesh are kind of at war with each other. So like, big example would be, do you ever just feel like you've got to go do this thing? It's a good work. You've got to go do it. But the flesh is like, they don't deserve it. I'm tired. They don't deserve my good works today. I'm tired. I don't want to go out and do good works today.
Yeah.
I don't want to call that person and pray for them. I'd rather just sit in my office and watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I don't want to write this message. I'm tired. I don't, the flesh and the spirit at war against each other. And I feel like that's a lot of times what happens sometimes as a Christian is like, we pray that, oh Lord, send a revival to my campus. Lord, send a revival to my campus. Send a revival to my campus. How is revival going to hit your campus? Logically, let's play this out. How would revival hit your campus? It's going to take some men and women of God to
Yeah.
rise up and do something.
Yeah.
Do something. Like, what do we mean do something? I mean, like maybe get a megaphone and start preaching in the, quad.
Yeah.
Right? Sharing your faith with as many people as you can in individual conversations until so many are saved that the good news is really spreading. It's going to take action, and it's going to take you to fight the flesh to get out there and do something like that. Like, if all I ever did was pray for revival for my campus, but never actually do action to start revival for my campus, will revival take place on my campus?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Or will it be like this? My prayers will get answered by me and other people taking action and being motivated and inspired to do something, right?
Correct. Yeah. When you were talking about this, it makes me think of just biblical stories of people that were stuck in bondage in some way. So for instance, the woman that was bleeding for years, she had to go out and do an action to get the healing. And then, or the Matt guy.
Yeah.
That gets lowered down. There was an
Matt
action.
Guy. Matt guy. His name's not Matt.
He's not Matt.
But he's the Matt guy.
He's the Matt guy.
Yeah.
He gets lowered. There's always an action when it comes. Or Jesus, he would go out and do stuff. It's always an action.
So I see what you're saying. So the Matt guy, would he have gotten healed if he stayed home?
No.
Interesting. Why? So, but isn't God good? Why can't God heal him if he just stays home?
I think it's a faith thing.
Yeah.
God wanted to see his faith.
I think
and his friend's faith too.
Yeah.
Like that woman at the well, or woman at the well. No, the woman who was bleeding. I actually read that in my Bible yesterday. That was in my reading, and she had faith that even if she just touched the hem of Jesus' garment, that she'd be healed, and she was. But if she hadn't,
she had to get to Jesus.
Yeah.
She had to physically fight through the crowd. She had to fight insecurities about being out in public. She had to fight the law, which told her she wasn't allowed to be in that space.
Yeah.
And she had to she had to take action. She had to take the steps. She had to move her body. She had to fight fatigue from all that bleeding. She had to do all this work. She had to fight for it. She had to do something. And then she touched the hem of his garment. And it's a miracle that happens. But she did a lot of work to get there.
Yeah.
So there, God does his part. I really think we have our part to play. That we can't just be simply and only the lonely prayer warrior.
Correct.
But I also feel like saying that out loud feels weird.
Yeah.
It does.
It does.
It really does. And I think that's because some people, well, it's very like Christian culture to be like, have you prayed about it?
Yeah.
Have you?
Or I'll pray for you.
I'll pray for you.
You're lonely? Oh, I'll pray for you. Wait, maybe I should instead take you out.
Yes. Like, you're lonely? Like, okay, I'll pray from you from a distance.
Oh, you're poor? I'll pray for you. Wait, I think the Bible says something about that. Like, unless you do something, you're a wicked person, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So even that aspect of just praying, like, prayer is such an important part. It's the preparation of doing that action is what I truly think sometimes. It's the preparation for God to do the part, and then we do the action, and then God answers that because he sees our heart and our true intentions, because that's ultimately what he cares about the most, is what our motive is behind what we're asking for.
Yeah.
So
Do you believe what the Bible says like I do? And I'm sure you're going to say yes to this, no doubt about it. But like, obviously you harvest where you plant. And that's what Galatians 6 says, that we can only harvest where we've planted something. And I think the more Christians can physically plant, the more that they can harvest. And to plant something takes work. It takes work. Like, if I'm in my office praying for people, I don't really consider that planting. I more consider that you're doing something in the spirit world. Prayer should get my heart in the right spot to go out and plant. But if I never plant anything, I'm never going to harvest anything. And I'm just trying to kind of like work all this out. I love praying. I pray all the time. But prayer is very personal. And there's a reason I like praying. And I feel like over the years, I've figured out more what prayer is about. Because I feel like early on, especially when I started working at the church, I thought prayer would make everything happen. And I found out it wasn't working. And then I'm like, wait, what's this prayer thing all about then? And then I realized, wait, prayer is different than what I was thinking. Prayer doesn't make everything happen. Prayer fills me up with all the fruits of the Spirit so that I can go out and do the good works with the right heart. Prayer puts me in a position where I'm not getting jaded, and I'm not getting angry, and I'm not feeling insecure, and I'm not feeling weak. Prayer enables me to see a harvest that's coming. But the harvest is coming because I've done a lot of great works, or I've done a lot of planting, because you can't harvest where you haven't planted.
I think there's still, I mean, obviously there's value in prayer, and there's still value in praying for people, obviously. And I think that's a great thing to do, but obviously, there's steps and there's action steps we have to take. I use the example a lot of, whenever I preach, of like just like being someone who's like, Lord, help me get a job, and then never applying for a job and never going to an interview and never doing that.
Exactly. I think the Lord's going to be like, wait, why don't you get off your lazy butt?
Yeah.
Get out.
Because he's not going to reward.
Yeah, that's not the lifestyle we should live.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Lord, give me a job, but I'm going to play this video game for 17 hours straight.
Yeah. And so, yeah, obviously there's great value in still praying for people, but it also helps prepare our heart, to go out and do some planting.
I think there's also the part too of, it doesn't only just prepare you, but like, say you're about to have this like hard conversation with someone, like praying over it could could prepare their heart too in the situation that you're like about to step into. Not saying that you're not doing that action, because you're obviously going to do that, but you're going to pray and prepare first.
Yeah.
But once you step into that conversation, like you've already prayed over them, so you know that like God's already like prepared that side of this situation.
No,
you know?
I totally agree. Prayer is like it fights the invisible war in the spirit world, but there's which is what we need to do. That's what prayer does. It like fights this battle in the spirit world. What do I mean the battle in the spirit world? Well, like you feel attacked from the enemy in your mind sometimes, and like prayer just fights that war so that you can go out and be a great planter and a harvester. Yeah. All right. Let's finish the podcast not only with Pastor Aaron's pick, which he's texted me, but also we've got this
Mama Bees.
elephant in the room here with our sour taste testing gummies. We bought some stuff. So
you found
Pastor
the camera guy?
Aaron has responded to my text message. He says Lions win again. So every single person has predicted a Lions win, which makes me very nervous.
Yes, because every time every TV broadcaster picks the same team, they lose.
Did you see that on Sunday Night Football?
I did.
They all picked the Lions to win, and they did. The Lions won. Oh, man, that made me nervous when I saw that. I was like, you stupid idiots. Why'd you do that?
On Good Morning Football, they all picked the Rams except for Kurt Warner. He picked the Lions.
Whoa. Did you see that?
Hey, I picked the Rams, man.
Kelsey. Kelsey.
Travis?
Taylor Swift?
No,
Jason?
not Travis. Not Travis.
Oh,
What's
his the
Donna?
mom, Donna.
No,
Donna Kelsey.
What is his brother's name?
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
Jason.
Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother.
Yeah. The guy in the Beat-Ups commercial.
Yes.
Jason Kelsey.
But he was broadcasting. I didn't realize that he was going to.
Yeah, he was on Sunday Night Football, the pregame show.
Yes.
Wow.
So
I didn't know
might
that.
be going
Or
that way.
Monday Night Football. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, tell us a little bit about this, Kayla, because you bought these online, right?
Yeah, I bought them off TikTok Shop.
Oh,
What?
I wouldn't have put that in my mouth if I knew it was from TikTok Shop.
What is? I've never even heard of TikTok.
Oh man! So a lot of people it's like really cheap junk from China.
Hey,
Really?
this is not from China.
And there's
Is it TikTok China?
there's some legitimate businesses on TikTok Shop, like small businesses who actually selling things. A lot of it's like drop shipping, where they buy like 100 things for like 3 cents a piece, and they sell them for $5.
Okay.
And it's like really cheap junk from China.
Oh, yeah.
But this is obviously a small business because it's.
So
But yeah.
yeah, so small businesses will like brand their stuff on here. And like it's all the rage to get sour stuff. And we know this because because our kids love sour stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
I
we
love sour
it.
stuff. So
This is Mama V's.
Mama V's.
And it's blue raspberry gushers. And you can see like all of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's all the sour stuff.
It's hard. It's probably going to be hard to see on candy, but the gummy is red. It's like a red ball. And then there's all that blue. It looks like sugar. That's the sour stuff. So you're going to give us a red gummy with a lot of blue on it then right now? Is that what you're going to pick out for us?
It's like blue sugary sand. It looks like.
Is the more blue, the more sour?
I don't know. We're going to find
Oh,
out.
there's one right there that is so blue.
Yes.
Go for it. Honolulu blue.
Oh my gosh. All right, then there's another one in there. Look at all that on there. I don't know if you can see all that on there in the camera or not.
Oh my gosh.
So this is apparently like
gonna get some more
super
sour on
sour.
there.
This is we can all one at a time.
Yeah, I just really want all this sour stuff.
All right, I'm going to go first, I guess.
I believe in you.
All right, you do?
I do.
Thank you.
I believe in your ability to eat this sour candy. Cheers.
Sorry if
Cheers.
it sounds gross in the microphone.
Whoa. I didn't realize it was
Wow.
full of stuff.
It's
I
gushers.
really like that. You know what? That was delicious. Can I have another one? Mm-hmm. You know what?
Oh, what the?
I'm going to do 2 at a time. And that was less sour than I thought it was going to be. And I'm sorry if it sounds gross in the microphone. My mouth is watering like crazy right now.
Sour stuff on my pants. I'm going to try a red one this time.
I don't think the color matters. They're just gushers.
Oh, that's delicious. You know what? We did those other sour Hard Rock.
Yeah.
It was like sour hard candy that you sucked on, like a big warhead style thing.
Yeah.
That was so sour. This is not as bad. This is not as bad as that.
I didn't even think it was that sour. The hard candy?
Really?
It
Yeah.
wasn't sour.
What?
I think these are more sour.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Maybe I got like one that was like like extra coated accidentally or something because
Maybe.
I put it in my mouth and it was so sour. It tasted like poison.
Whoa.
Like my
Yeah.
It was terrible. I was like, oh, I hate this so much. It didn't taste good. That's
Mama
super
V's, not
delicious.
sponsored.
Like if you like sour stuff, TikTok shop Mama V's.
TikTok.shop. Not sponsored. Mama V's.
We're trying to get sponsors. So, yeah,
Candy's
Got any in
made
mind?
with
it's kind of a
love.
joke.
Nike, sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
HelloFresh.
Apple can sponsor the podcast. That'd be fine.
You know you've made it when HelloFresh sponsors your podcast.
Really? HelloFresh?
Sign up with code CYA20 to get 20% off your first box.
CYA 20% off.
That's right.
Now through the end of October.
That's right.
It's been great to be with you today, audience. Thanks for the special guest, Preston and Kayla.
It's my pleasure.
You know what? You filled in so well. I don't think we need Aaron anymore.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Just joking. Just joking.
Maybe I'll cut out this part.
Bye.
Youth and Young Adult Podcast. Youth and Young Adult Podcast. Youth and Young Adult Podcast.